Alright, it's your man Brett from the Skateboarding Show, and I have the pleasure of being sat with this guy. May you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Tom Seaton, and you're at my project, which is called Camp Hillcrest.
Yeah. And it's amazing. I'm almost embarrassed to say it's my first time here, especially having now been here and seen what's going on here properly with my own eyes. As obvious as it is, take us through. Let's start at the beginning. How and when did you start this place?
So we moved here in 2010, and then I don't know whether I'm supposed to be looking at the camera or you.
Either way, it's fine.
Okay.
It's mellow.
We moved here in 2010 from Bristol, and we were looking for somewhere for 2 years, like specifically with the idea of doing a skateboarding camp which got kids out of the city so they could experience like a bit of nature and learn about stuff to do with like rural life, but have an amazing skate park set in it, so that there was like the two things put together, basically.
Nature and skateboarding.
It's totally influenced by what was the Element Skate Camp, which is YMCA Skate Camp. When I saw that when I was like 14.
No, so you're cool, man. Come in. It's all right.
That's right. Is this touch shops thing still open?
There's nothing in there.
Okay,
that answers it.
See you later. Yeah.
It's one of your locals that popped.
They lived like in a house down the lane, and they started skating because this place came.
Amazing.
Yeah. But so there's like, when I saw that on 411, like it just stuck with me, and I used to. I grew up in Epsom, which is just sort of south of Wimbledon, like just after the tube stops on the edge of Surrey.
Right.
And it was like, where I lived was right on the edge of the town. Everyone else lived in town that I knew. And I built like a little fire pit circle and all that kind of stuff in the woods, and we'd skate all day, and I was always like saying to people, come, let's go have a fire and stuff. And then I got into like, I left London after doing an art degree, and because I got kind of like a bit fed up with the kind of like pursuing trendy culture and got bored of it. And then I was like, right, I'm going to go and learn a bit about what my dad knows about, and got into horticulture and gardening and stuff, and worked in Bath doing that, and then met my wife through music. And then she was like, why aren't you using your art degree? Why aren't you, what are you doing? And pushed me into becoming a teacher.
Right, okay.
And I did that for 10 years. And within that, I just showed her the Element Camp, and was like, this is really where my head's at. And we trained to be forest school leaders. We did a course in that, and that's like, we learned to teach kids how to build roundhouses, make mallets, light fires. And then we were like, right, we're ready. We can go somewhere and start making UK skate camp. And that was the kind of progression of it. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. It makes total sense that what it sounds like to me is you built this whole massive skill set.
Yeah.
And then, as you say, you kind of recognise that, right, now we have all the skills we need to go and make this happen.
Yeah.
And then, go on.
No, I was just going to say, like, oh, don't worry. You got ask the question. Ask the question.
And I mean, you're out here in the Forest of Dean.
Yeah.
Was this where you happened to find, or did you have an idea?
We were looking in Somerset,
right,
Wiltshire for ages, and it's just like expensive.
Right.
Really expensive.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Then we used to come over the bridge. We used to, like, when we were playing in a band together. We travelled a lot we did up an old horse lorry, and we travelled in that, and we used to go and camp a lot of places, and then we ended up out here at Beecher's Farm, which is just like down the way a bit, and we were like, it's quite good out here. And then we started exploring this side and realised that it was a lot more old world and like less kind of developed as a commuter place and stuff, because people even travel to London from Somerset now to work. It's mad, and the whole place is different to like, right, well, money wise, and here was like a bit untapped, and we were like, okay. And we got some friends together, and we sold our house in Bristol and got some friends to help, and as soon as we moved in, we had a community. Our friends lived here, we got planning permission to have a truck here, and another couple here, and they paid into the mortgage, and the old house helped, and we got it going. And it's always run as a community. Like, that's how we couldn't do it any other way. We couldn't have done it, and that's
Go on.
yeah. So that's how it all veered towards the forest. Was like we were just not getting anywhere with what we could afford, but then we drove up this lane and went, whoa, this is the place. You know, like how you get like I don't know if you've ever if you've ever moved into a flat or you've been or anything like that, and you do that thing where you're like, no, it don't feel right, or this feels right. And as soon as we went up this drive, we were like, this is the spot. this is the spot. Yeah.
Right.
And that was it. It was like, right, that's it.
I think for me, I walked up the lane, and then I turned around, and that view out over the valleys.
We didn't used to have that. There used to be massive leyland trees all the way down the drive, and you couldn't see that. It was like this sort of tunnel that went up, and that's all just been opened up in the last couple of years.
Wow.
But it's amazing, isn't it? You can see right over to Wales and Sugarloaf and stuff. It's really good.
Just amazing. And then what? So what was here when you got here? Was the the bunk hut and the skate park hall here, or?
Nah. When we got here, there was this house, the stable block, and the bunkhouse was like a shell. It had no tiles or upstairs, and the first thing we did was like, we've got to get people in here. So we did up the bunkhouse, and that brought like weekend people, and it meant that we could do stuff with schools, Forest School and that.
Right.
And then I bought a 10-foot wide mini off a guy called Nathan in Bath, and then a 20-foot wide mini, and we put them under a shelter at the top. And they were sick, and then we built a mini in the dorms. That was mad.
Nice.
But then boards started going through the window, and it was like, oh, hang on a minute. And then we'd get like groups of like, you know, people coming here that didn't skate on a weekend, and there's like a massive mini ramp in the living room. And it was like, hang on a minute, you know, this has got to work. To the mini ramp. It was really good though. It was so much fun. It was the best mini ever. There was tricks I could do on that I can't do at all anywhere else. But yeah, and so that was made, and then I met Flynn Trotman. I was skating Horfield, and we just got talking, and I told him what I was doing here, and he was quite interested about it. And then some time later, he just phoned me, and there was this like 30 Bristol skaters, like Molyneux, him, Dan Patton, Stu Patton, loads of them, and they were on a tour, and he phoned them. They were like, "We've got nowhere to go next. Can we come to yours?" And that was the first big session. Like it was massive.
Nice.
It was like, and it was totally unexpected. And all of our neighbours have been pretty supportive of this, like because we told them everything we're doing step by step, and tried to work with them if anything's difficult or anything like that. And our neighbour over the back near the skate park, he just phoned and he was like, "We love the project and everything, but is there anything you can do about the like?" And I was like, yeah. And then we got like banging our heads together, and I was like, I'd really like to do like a straw bale building, a proper eco building here. And then like we went through all these different ideas, and we were like, and I said to him, okay, we could try building a semi-soundproof building and make the skate objects out of something quieter. And he was like, that sounds great. So then we applied for planning permission to be a holiday and education centre with activity barn and skateboarding for families and people. And that process took like 2 years. That was quite we didn't have difficulty in terms of resistance. It's just like when you're not paying an architect, or you're not paying, you're just doing it all
right
as a family and with friends and people you meet. And then the build was mad, literally. We had like Mickey, the old boy here, he was like showing us how to do concrete. He just came to fix one wall, and then still now changes the beds every week and everything. He's a bit of a ledge.
Yeah,
and
I saw him here when I first got here. Yeah.
And then basically Rico, who built the mini that was here, came, and then a couple of others, and then we had volunteers. My wife had had our second baby, she was cooking for like 10 blokes a day whilst bringing up 2 tiny kids, all in our house constantly. It was mad. It was 2 years of complete a different world. It was we learned a lot through that, and we did it. But yeah, it was like volunteers, and then basically Rico came in and he really helped me loads.
Right.
He like, I said what I wanted the logo to be like, I said what I wanted the park to be like, and he's a multi-talented guy, and he came in and he's a little bit stricter than me, so
right.
he actually got people to build things.
Nice.
Whereas I ended up labouring for Rico, running the project a little bit, you know what I mean. But he really made it happen, quite a lot at that skate park, So,
you need that sort of will force to make these things happen sometimes, don't you? You need that. You need that absolute determined drive to make something happen.
He was here for a long time. He built our website as well. He built that park. He built that ledge going all the way down. Like he's amazing, and he's now off doing other stuff, and we're good friends. But it's like within this project changes, and people now we're doing so much education. His role was like he wasn't doing as much here, and he was working off site a lot, and he's doing other stuff in Bristol now. But he was going to come up tonight actually. But
right.
Yeah. But I want to just say a big up, because it's like I couldn't have done it without Rico.
Big up Rico.
Yeah, definitely. And Joe Hill and Tim Hill and Tim Bartlett and loads of other people. But Rico, Joe Hill, Tim Bartlett, me, and then some other friends like Alex and Dan and Ollie, Dan Mears and Ollie. They did loads. Yeah. They lived it. Well, Dan's the Hillcrest boomerang. He never goes away.
Right.
Yeah. He's like goes like I'm moving, and then he's just back.
Yeah, I know those two, Dan and Ollie. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I skate with Ollie's uncle quite often, Matt Carruthers. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just nice to say thanks to people, isn't it? And I'm like, there's loads of other people, but it's quite like. There's integral people that made it happen. Yeah,
you can tell it's got that community feel to it. You can tell there's, because in one respect there's clearly far too much here for one person to do by themselves.
Yeah,
and in another respect, that's what skateboarding's always been about. It's always been about a community feel in one way or another, and throughout the decades that's kind of ebbed and flowed, that community feel. Sometimes it's been about, and sometimes it hasn't. Sometimes skateboarding's taken itself far too seriously, and other times it's been about like crashing at your mate's house.
I'd say
whatever it is you
this
need to do.
place is I like to think of it as it's a bit of a I don't know if it's like the bastion or something, whatever. It's like a place of that celebrates very much the cultural side, like the making, the art, and the skating, and all of it. Like we have a workshop where you can print boards. Third Foot have done loads of work here making boards with kids, and then we do printing. There's there's loads of hands-on stuff, and that makes the industry what it is, that people can just come in and just dabble with,
have a trial, have a taste of
all of it, and then at the same time they can go and talk to a pig or pick vegetables and learn about all of that.
Yeah.
So it's very holistic.
Which is good, because it's very educational to remind skateboarders that there is life outside of skateboarding, and engaging in that life doesn't make you not a skateboarder. It's still you're still a hardcore skateboarder if you still engage in other stuff outside of skateboarding.
Yeah, but
it's the attitude you have, isn't it?
Loads of things influence graphics that you see as pinnacle skateboarding, right? And they come from cultural references of music, art, all kinds of stuff. If someone, so it's you can make it skateboarding if you throw it in with skateboarding, and you can make it. You can and it's I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm starting to waffle now.
Well, but let's bring it up to modern day.
Yeah.
And what you're doing right now. So you've mentioned two things: the educational work and the skateboarding stuff. And I know there's going to be a crossover between those two things, but tell us a little bit about some of the educational work you do up here.
Okay. So
what you can mention, because I'm guessing some of it will be not secret, but is
we do a lot of work with it. So it's kind of broken down into 3 things. This place.
Right.
There's weekdays in term time we work with emotional behaviour EBD children, and we provide a space for them to do practical learning, like and then the skate park is a central space where you can kind of let off steam, roll around on stuff, whatever, be it like a bike, skateboard, whatever. We have loads of things there. China have been really kind and sent us lots of bits so they can put boards together and
Nice.
all that kind of stuff, and we do a reward scheme with that where if they chop bags of wood that we sell at the end of the drive, they go towards points towards them taking a skateboard away.
Nice.
Stuff like that. And then we get the chance to do forging and metalwork, printmaking, horticulture, basic construction and carpentry. A lot, and they contribute to everything that's here. Like the eating shelter, they help make that. All the signs you see everywhere, they help make that. But they do also make things that they can take home. And if they print tees that work, we put them up in our little, we've got a little tuck shop. You couldn't call it a skate shop really, but we got a little, we occasionally hang a few tees that they make, and then they get a bit from it, like rewards and stuff. So vouchers for shops and things like that.
Right.
And then weekends is anyone and everyone, like families, groups of skaters, all sorts, either people accessing the Forest of Dean or people skateboarding. And then all the school holidays now is doing what I really wanted this place to be. Is this summer it has a skate camp every week.
Nice.
And there's different skate camps here. I don't know if you want me to explain a bit about that.
Yeah, whatever you want to say. This is
So
a whole
Mark Baines, who's like a long-time English pro.
UK legend. I'm gonna say it. UK legend. Total
street legend.
Total legend. Yeah. Doing tech stuff before you were born that you couldn't even imagine. That used to make me flick through sidewalk, just like what? Huh?
Yeah. I'm very honoured to have him here. Basically, he was doing his camp down in Cornwall, staying in a school, I think, and then using the plaza. And I was building this place, and I really didn't want to be. I didn't want to I thought what he was doing was cool when I looked it up, and I was like, instead of being like all quiet, I'm like, I was just like, and I was so busy teaching. Anyway, I was like, I can't do this whole camp. I can't run camp all the time. But this place has got to be used as best it can. So I basically wrote him an email and was like, hey man, told him who I was, what we're doing, and invited him to come and have a look and see if he wanted to run move his camp over here. And he came and looked, and he's been really patient. The first year, the park wasn't finished at all. There was a bowl and no wall, the walls were half done, half a street course, loads of rain. He's been patient with the showers, everything. But year by year, it's we've got it to a point where it's cool. And he's it's really cool that he's kind of brings his camp and his crew here every year, runs the story camp, which is amazing. And this year he's brought Chris Haslam here, which is nuts.
You did hear that right.
I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, he's turned out, and he's a lot of return kids, and he runs a really cool camp. And they do photos and edits and skate and tour and use this as a base. And then the other main skate camp here is sort of me and Sid from 50/50 got together, and we
talking of UK legends, Sid.
Another legend, and he's been amazingly supportive, and Ken from Third Foot has been amazingly supportive on me bringing my kind of vision of camp to life, because I wanted it to be all the facets, you can make a board, you can print a board, you can do all of the things you can experience doing a giant graffiti mural, which, because I think that's part of the culture, you can experience. And it also, because Sid's got kids and I've got kids, and Tidy Mike's done a lot of filming and he's got kids and stuff, and their kids skate and they've come into it, and it's been a real and Ken's kids been here a lot, it's been a real family thing that has fed the camp, and it means a lot to me, Camp 50. It's sick. It's Bristol family, it's our crew, and it's really amazing camp.
All those people you just mentioned are total UK legends, like Tidy Mike. Like, if you've ever watched anything that's come out of 50/50 in terms of video stuff, that was Tidy who did that. You know, and Ken at a 3rd foot. You know, the chances are, if you've ridden a shop board from just about most shops in the UK, it was probably a 3rd foot board with the shop graphic on. And I know most of the shops are totally okay with saying that, because they support a 3rd foot, and they support what they're doing, which is great.
He's amazing. He's been like, if you want someone to make a proper skateboard, Ken from 3rd foot is England's person that makes a legit amazing skateboard. Like,
I was very lucky when I first started doing the radio show many years ago, 2011. I was only a couple of months into it, I think, maybe 3-4 months, and I just reached out to a 3rd foot, and Ken was like, yeah, cool, come along anytime. So we arranged a date, and like, I spent the whole afternoon going around that workshop and just like having my mind blown about, you know, I was relatively naive as to how you make a skateboard. And as I've said numerous times before, you know, the only thing he wouldn't talk about was the glue, but everything else, because he was like, that's the trade, that's the thing.
I didn't ever talk to him about glue.
From what he explained, that's the thing that makes every skateboard manufacturer slightly different to the rest. The general process of pressing boards and shaping them, all relatively similar, but it's the glue that
he's got this special like router where he's like done something so that it does the curve both on the top and the bottom. He's used like a L bracket thing. It's really cool. It's like amazing how it guides it. But to say about Ken, actually, before we'd even built the park, Ken used to come and shape boards here with groups of people in the shed to support the project. And then the first camp we ever did that was other than Mark's camp, because he's like, you know, he was running, he basically moved this camp here and has kept that going. The first one that we did like off our own backs was a 3rd foot camp. I think the first 2 were before 50 got involved. And Ken was great. He just like bought loads of skates. He bought Jim's skin here one time.
Brilliant.
And we bought like loads of people here, and like, just was really, he's rad.
Got a lot of time for
guy.
Jim and his son Joe. Another family get up. You know,
And he's just put so much. Like, we did one like he'd printed a load of boards for Matt Hensley, and Matt Hensley started his career at the skate camp that I based this on from America. He got picked up by H Street there. Right. Anyway, Ken ended up printing some one-off boards for him that all got signed, and then Ken told Matt about this place and stuff, and then these kindly got donated for us to sell one and keep one. And then we were going to make an object like to do with Matt Hensley, so we made this pole jam rail that looks like the signpost that he's swinging around. Right. It's got a bit skated and trashed now. It's outside, but it has got a yellow bit down like that, and then the top of it had the H Street made of trucks like welded onto the thing, like looking like the sign. Yeah, but we had to take it out of the skate park because it was gnarly in there and too many slams on it. So I put it I've put it out here as a little like
that's that thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll show you the detail on it later. But and that is amazing, really. So we've got a signed Matt Hensley board here from like, which is it. And also like me and my wife play like, I play trombone, she plays, we played like in big band festival like gypsy music, and he plays accordion and that, and there's the link with the camp, and it was like mad, like Ken's giving me these and telling me the story and the links, and it was like, this is sick. Yeah, right. It's cultural, like cool. Yeah, it's amazing. And you know, I've said it once before about somebody else, but if you don't know who Matt Hensley is, pause this video and go and do a bit of research, or you're maybe just watching the wrong channel. But yeah, you got to go and find out who Matt Hensley is if you don't know who that is. He's like street, like Baines, but from this era, he's like a street legend from America. He's a proper amazing, just incredible skateboarder. They're doing stuff way beyond his time. You know, there was like him and Natus and a few other people that were just way beyond their time. He's rad. Yeah, from the 80s. There's Planet 80s. Earth, and then He's got H Street. He's on Planet. Was he on Planet F? I don't know.
He was on Plan B, kinda, or
Well, no,
I think he was like TM or something for Plan B when they first started,
Anyway.
way back in the early 90s.
Cool dude.
think,
Does a good
yeah.
361 flip. over
Yeah,
that
the
bit.
most amazing. Yeah. Like, isn't it full cab 1 foot or something, like over a whole picnic bench? It's like
And one
mental.
over that bin out of the bank.
Yeah, and that one. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he's proper good. Yeah, used to skate in Dr. Martens shoes because the air cushion sole. Yeah. Which sounds weird, but it worked. It worked.
I wouldn't skate in Dr. Martens.
No. But he did, and he made it work.
And then the random thing about this, just to go back to the camps. So there's these two like core camps, if you like.
Right.
And then random, it's like popping up. Like this is all fall summer. Like so, we have a skateboard enrichment from a school in Dartmoor on their 2nd year now.
Nice.
So there's the art teacher at the school is a skater.
Nice.
And he started a skate company in his art department called Acrylic Skateboards, and he's got like all the kids like involved in it and that. And then they come here and they do their week of enrichment skateboarding, which is like doing printing, skating here. It's like their last week of term. They can choose, different stuff, football, surfing, whatever, and they come skating for the week. And they said 2nd year. And the other exists Swansea Rick. He comes and does a camp in East End. He's just booked. He's doing another one, Halloween one, October half term now.
Nice.
And then there's a youth organisation from Hackney County Council, and they are in. I don't know if this is too boring now, but
No. This is
they are coming for a week after Story Camp, and Dan Buck-Joyce is teaching them how to do work VX and edit and make a skate edit. So they're doing some printing. They're doing how to do angles and shots in skateboarding.
Nice.
And then and the process, and at the end they'll have a film that they've made as a group, and that's amazing that's come through Hackney. And it's a whole week. It's cool. That is wasn't expecting that. It's from this guy Simon Woods, I think his name is, who works in the youth in Hackney for years, and he's visited and gone. It's just happened. It's right.
And again, it's going to be a great opportunity to take some city kids out and go. This is fresh air. This is grass. This is rural.
That's
landscape.
It's that thing of hey, there's a skate park. Hey, there's a pig.
Yeah.
Do you want to help me pick the
some
toppings
chickens.
for a pizza?
Yeah.
And it's different, isn't it?
These eggs you're having for breakfast have just been laid.
Yeah. And then after that, there's this 2nd year returning. They call themselves Sibling London, and they're like a group for, they work for LGBT or people like that. They're basically a group of support group for people that maybe find skate parks intimidating.
Right.
And they have a meet up here.
Nice.
And they support each other, have campfire, do a bit of drawing, and learn skating and stuff, because it's very if you're here, you can have really your own experience with the people that you're with.
Yes.
Without random factor and all that thing. So it's like a skateboard nurture kind of thing. So they come and do their week, and that's a whole summer.
Brilliant. And then you're back to the summer term doing the educational stuff. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. So it's pretty mad.
And where do you feel? I mean, going into the future, where do you feel you're at with the buildings and everything? So are you happy with what you've got, or is there plans to? Not that you need to add any more. I'm just sort of asking what the future plans might be.
There's loads of ideas.
Right.
And there's no money.
There's no money. Yeah. There's the ideas and there's the reality of whether or not they'll come to fruition. Yeah. Of course.
We've got pretty far. I don't want to play with concrete for a while.
Right. No.
It's it's hardcore.
Yeah.
So, we'd like to develop. There's a barn behind the skate park, which is a big barn. We'd love to develop that into a viewing gallery and lengthen the street course, because the street course is tight.
Right.
That would be amazing, and then the skate park would be better because it's hard to function over 12 people. Really, it's you can have a mega session there with loads of people, but it's hectic.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to make the street course longer. But we have got this outside stuff now as well. We've got the long ledge and a little marble ledge here, and that's opened it up a bit more from the amount of people that can skate all at the same time. But we'd love to develop that building into a viewing gallery and longer street course, and then Yeah, that's the main thing in my head.
Right.
Yeah, and then we'd like to do, the dreams are, and then like in the pig field, do like a little pump track thing with an outdoor natural swimming lake or whatever, but
Nice.
this is pipe dreams, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the moment, it's like, it pays the staff, it pays our life and our family, and developing it is very bit by bit.
Yeah.
At the moment. Yeah. That
Nice.
makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, thank you very much for your time. I mean, this, what are we now? Like 9:30, something, 10ish, and
10
you're still. I guess you don't do work hours, do you?
No.
You're just doing.
There is no work hours. No, but it's like, I have to remember to leave this place.
Right.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah,
and engage in the rest of the world.
Because you forget because there's just so much like going on, and it's like things can be like difficult, especially in term time. We have to be very like organised and on top with everything, but it's also like an amazing place to be. So like not work hours. It's very important to get family time.
Yes.
But like we love Corinna, my wife, is like the backbone here. Not enough's been said about her. Yeah, this place would be nothing if she wasn't here. I don't know how she's been so strong to put up with so many like skaters and like hippies helping this place along. Like literally, it's like she's keeps it going. I've got to say a lot about her because she's good. Yeah, keeps the ship running, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for your invite up here. I'm
no worries. It's nice to have
honoured.
you. Hopefully, you can get to talk to Chris and Mark. That'd be rad, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Let's go.
And
see
another time, you
go
should
see
talk
what
to
they
Sid
do.
about it as well.
Well, I want to.
I tried phoning Sid twice this week.
I think
but
he's busy
he's like walking
up hills, and fair play to you, Sid, for doing that.
Yeah.
Enough respect for that. But Tom, thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to come and see what you're doing, and I will definitely be back at some point.
Cool, man. Safe.
Thank you. Say goodbye.
Bye.
There's a PS to the skateboarding show for the first time. we finished, and then Tom remembered there's some critical things that he'd like to mention.
Yeah, I totally forgot to mention Lee Dainton. Dane is the most enthusiastic person about Camp Hillcrest I think I possibly know, apart from myself. And
another legend, by the way. It's just, nothing but we're just dropping legend bombs everywhere. Go on.
Dayton has made some amazing edits for us. He did our showcase film that goes out to like any schools, anywhere, everything, and he did another film for our last Camp 50, and he throws his total heart and soul into all of it and makes, the guy's amazing, like so much fun to be around, and I can't thank him enough for how much he's helped with this place and how much he's given to it and how much he's listened to what it means to me and then tried to create that picture in media, and that's I can't say thanks enough for that, basically.
He has a lot of passion, doesn't he?
And he listens to what you say and goes, right, I'll make it like that, I'll make that.
Amazing.
Which is rad.
Yeah. And also, just briefly, totally understandably, and I totally want to support it, you wanted just to remind us that there are dates on...
So there is actually, I think there's some spaces on Mark's camp next week on Story. I think he's got a couple of spaces left on that, almost positive. And then we've got a Camp 50 coming up in November. Now, this is stupid because I'm doing an advert for it and I can't remember the dates, but on our Instagram there's the dates for this year, and we're doing a weekender in November.
And what's the Instagram account for people?
Camp_Hillcrest.
Go and follow that. Go and get involved. Book some time here at Camp Hillcrest. It'll be the best thing you ever do. And you can come here if you're not on a skate camp. You can just get a group of mates together and come and shred and enjoy the countryside. Get hold of these guys on their Instagram account and sort your life out and come here. It'll be amazing.
Right, cheers.
For the second time. See
We
you
do
later.
good pizza. We've got wood-fired hot tubs. Okay.
Say goodbye again.
Bye. Again.